There's an example that Ndu always gives here whenever we talk about issues to do with children. And in our home, you feed your children with the best there is. Your children don't eat weevils. They don't eat food with kerosene in it. Mm-hmm. But you go to school and these are things they find, and you expect that they would not raise that, because one would say, at home I don't eat this. Unfortunately, in school as well, I will not eat this because my parents pay for these services. We talk about these reports that task forces have put in place and the quality checks that need to be there. And the quality checks that should be there, the government itself is not implementing them. Because even in that video that we see, that CCTV footage, there is overcrowding. Nobody is talking about the overcrowding. Everybody is talking about the children, rightfully, who touch the place, who need to go through the justice system. But we are not addressing the fundamental question, which is, why was student sleeping on the verandas? We are not talking about that. The government is pushing 100% transition, and that is right, because the constitution demands that to happen. But we are seeing that talk of 100% transition, but there is no commensurate investment to ensure that 100% transition happens in the most legal way there is, and that fairness is applied across board. Then again, there is, in addressing this issue, and the Russia private schools are handled differently from public schools. When we talk about all this, seemingly enough, we seem not wanting to be addressing the root cause of the problem.
Absolutely.
We are just pussyfooting around where the problem is and pointing fingers.
And that is what it's characteristic of every human being. If you are presented with a problem, and even in life problems, you like so much when you point at the other person as the source of the problem. You like so much. And there is no opportunity that you will be looking at the situation and saying, surely, in this particular one, I am the problem. I mean, it's never even in 1 out of 10. It's a characteristic of human being. But let us face the elephant in the room and let us ask each other, do we think that boarding schools are sustainable anymore? Do we think that boarding schools are sustainable anymore? Let us first say, number one, in the whole of Africa, we are the most boardingized country, and in the whole of the world.
Really, Janet? Okay, so if I try to understand what you're saying, that Kenya boards children in school more than any other country on the continent and in the world?
In the world.
How do we know this?
There is statistics. There are statistics. There's statistics to that effect. I'm just giving you that document in a jiffy. The secondary school subsector, we are the most boardingized. Show me other places that are dealing with the issues that we are dealing with at current. We have made bad policies, and we have entertained. There's a time I sat here and I said that we get people that rule this country by rumors and grapevine, not necessarily looking at the direction between now and the next 10 years. Where do we see the secondary school subsector? We had sat down and thought about this. And that is how come there were introduced day wings in big schools, including, I think the most remarkable day wing was State House Girls. Where were we coming from? And that's about 10 years ago.
Transition.
We were looking at now that the way population is growing and the way our governments are behaving in terms of money, we do not think that we are able to expand boarding facilities to the extent that everyone will feel comfortable and to the extent that everyone will afford. Because remember, boarding school also exaggerates the cost. Whereas in this country is implementing free day secondary education, boarding school is not free.
No.
Because of that boarding component. And that is why you have so many parents not able to take their children to secondary school. Because why? Government has always invested in those boarding schools, expanding the boarding schools. Expanding. Why? Because of tunnel vision. Tunnel vision, doing what is it. I listen to people sitting in government spaces saying, that is not our headache now. Sisi tufanye hata uchaguzi ni next year, they will come and deal with it. They will come and deal with the headache later. But we honestly need to look at each other in the eye and tell each other boarding school is not sustainable. We cannot do it.
So the argument for this is that there are a lot of parents, there are a lot of children for whom this is the most sustainable, because if your children are away in school, then it allows you to then engage in other
Give me the
activities.
data, because we are not able to use.
We're not able to compare the two.
We are not able to say that most people are away. Yet we are saying here, priding ourselves that unemployment is so high. So you're absent. You're where? The data is that, and in any case, you cannot abdicate your responsibility of parenting your child just because you have a job. You cannot do that. Honestly, Kenyans have got to choose. You have got to choose. You cannot bring up a child for the government to take care of you because you're busy somewhere else. We must come to a place and say boarding schools, the manner in which we are doing boarding schools, because the concept, how government has done boarding schools is just allocating children. And it doesn't follow up with resources. It doesn't follow up with resources. Honestly, I want the parents who are complaining to tell me, when Moi Nairobi Girls burnt, I was among the first respondents. And we were shocked that there were children on the third decker. Children sleeping on the ceiling, literally. And I was asking some parents, did you actually know, by the time you left your girl here, did you know that you were leaving your child sleeping on the ceiling? No. We were not allowed to go to the dorm.
Yep.
That is what parents are dealing with. Many parents who are leaving their children in school and going home, they have not inspected the kind of facilities. They have not begun asking themselves.
We're not allowed to, Janet. When you go to take your